For many men over 40, the baseline shifts almost overnight. You wake up with heavy brain fog, a noticeable softening of the chest and midsection, and a level of exhaustion that no amount of caffeine seems to touch. We are conditioned to believe this decline is a permanent hardware failure, a natural consequence of chronological aging that can't be reversed. But the biological engine isn't actually broken. Instead, the system switches have been turned off by an accumulation of toxic data loops and blocked internal pipelines that force your natural power grid to stay offline. This is why standard interventions like extreme cardio routines or synthetic patches often hit a wall. Attempting to force a high-performance output through a system with restricted hydraulic lines and corrupted software only increases internal pressure without restoring actual power. Reclaiming your vitality requires a sequential reset of your internal architecture, beginning with the unblocking of your foundational delivery infrastructure. For any physical or mental repair to occur, the body must first have a clear pathway to deliver nutrients. This makes your vascular system the absolute prerequisite for any stage of restoration. We can track this decline through a mechanism called biological rust. This graph shows the production of nitric oxide, the primary signal that tells your pipes to expand. By age 50, this natural flow signal has collapsed by 85%. As that signal fades, the endothelium, the lining of your vessels, begins to stiffen and narrow. This physical restriction chokes off oxygenated blood before it can ever reach your brain or your muscle tissue. Reversing this requires a dual pathway approach, using specific amino acids like L-citrulline and L-arginine. These precursors flood the system, forcing the arterial walls to relax and expand once again. This rapid vasodilation restores baseline flow, clearing out the metabolic bottlenecks that create that persistent sense of mental cloudiness. Until these hydraulic lines are fully dilated, the hormones and recovery agents your body needs will remain stuck in a biological traffic jam. Once the pipes are open, the next priority is addressing the structural degradation of the male frame, specifically the accumulation of stubborn, low-density fat. This softening is caused by the estrogen hijack. Environmental toxins trigger the aromatase enzyme, intercepting testosterone and converting it into a weak, fat-storing estrogen. This overrides your masculine baseline, signaling your body to store soft fat directly over muscle fibers instead of maintaining lean mass. Plugging this softening leak requires a biological filter like diendolyl methane, or DIM. This compound inhibits the aromatase enzyme, neutralizing the conversion before it can drain your edge. By halting this rogue process, you shift your metabolic baseline back to its native state, allowing the body to prioritize building hard physical armor over survival fat. With the vascular pipes open and the estrogen leak plugged, the body is primed for repair. However, it still requires a specific chemical authorization to begin the work. Over time, most men experience somatogus, a state where the signal for human growth hormone, or HGH, flatlines. This prevents your body from recovering from daily stress or physical exertion. We can restart this signal by utilizing an alpha-GPC trigger to communicate with the pituitary gland. As shown in this sleep cycle chart, the goal is to time a massive pulse of HGH to align precisely with your deep REM sleep window. Because the vascular architecture is now open, this nocturnal HGH pulse can travel through the body efficiently, authorizing the synthesis of protein while you sleep. Deep sleep functions as an active, biologically authorized reconstruction period that must be chemically scheduled to maintain a physical edge. At this stage, the biological hardware has been recalibrated, the vascular lines are dilated, the estrogen leak is sealed, and the nocturnal repair is active. However, a machine can have perfect hardware and optimized fluid lines, but it still cannot operate at peak efficiency if the central processing unit is overstressed and the battery is hovering at a 10% charge. If your nervous system is constantly buzzing from modern stress and screen glare, it creates a short circuit that fries your recovery channels, regardless of how clean your biology is. True restoration requires grounding the nervous system to stop this background noise. Connecting with a creator and cultivating mental peace acts as the ultimate power source, providing the stability needed to keep these biological systems online for the long term. The decline of middle age is entirely reversible when you unite a cleared, optimized biological architecture with a grounded, ultimate life purpose.